In this example, we're going to be talking about reference angles. So let's go ahead and take a look at the definition here. Reference angles are the angle formed by the terminal side of our angle measure and the x-axis. You want to keep in mind these are acute angles, which means they are less than 90 degrees. And when I am marking reference angles on the screen, you're going to see me use the notation theta with a little r underneath it. That's just going to stand for my reference angle. That'll kind of help you denote my original angle versus the reference angle that I'm talking about. And let's go ahead and take a look at two of these four problems. Let's go ahead and look at part A, and we're also going to look at part D. So in part A, we're going to be graphing a 150 degree angle. Keep in mind this is positive, so it's opening upward. So if we sketch our angle in standard position, right, our angle is going to start along our positive x-axis, and it's going to open upward a total of 150 degrees. So there's my 150 degree angle. And now let's go ahead and mark our reference angle on the screen. Our reference angle is going to be that distance between that terminal side and the closest x-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and change colors here. This distance, right, because here's our terminal side of our angle, and here's our closest x-axis. So this is the angle measure we are talking about for our reference angle. And keep in mind this negative x-axis is at the 180 degree mark. So if we subtract out the 150, right, then our reference angle is going to be 30 degrees. Let's go ahead and look at part D. This time we have negative 5 pi over 6, and we want to go ahead and sketch that angle measure. I'm going to go ahead and convert this to degrees just to make it a little bit easier as we're working with it. So I've got my negative 5 pi over 6, and remember if we're converting to degrees, we're going to multiply by 180 over pi. Pi values here are going to cancel. And if we multiply this out, this is going to give us a negative 150 degrees. So keep in mind it is negative. If we go to graph it, it's going to open downward from our x-axis. Alright, so let's go ahead and give ourselves a little sketch here. So my initial side is going to be along this positive x-axis, and it's negative, so I'm going to be coming downward a total of 150 degrees. So this is the angle measure here that we're talking about with our original. And let's go ahead and mark our reference angle, right? We need the distance between our terminal side, which is right here, and our x-axis, which is right there. Right, so keep in mind our x-axis here is at the 180 degree mark, right? And this original angle took up 150 degrees of it, so our reference angle, in this case, is going to be equal to 30 degrees. Now, they gave us our original angle measure in radians, so let's go ahead and convert this back to radians. Okay, we're going to have to multiply this by pi over 180. And if we reduce our fraction, this is going to give us an angle measure of pi over 6 as our reference angle. Go ahead and try part B and C on your own, and include those with your notes.